he's going to wife you. And then when men ask, why do we need to be married? How does marriage benefit a man? Because all this stuff that you're doing, a girlfriend, a side chick will do it. You all cook and clean. You all go down and give the best head. You all will break your neck and sell your soul to get my attention. Why do I need to marry you? They all doing the same thing. And for somehow, they think that they're different. They think that they're special.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Now say what you want to say about Princella, because I know a lot of people on my channel have expressed to me in the past how much they don't like her, they don't trust her, and they had all these negative things to say about her. And I have responded to many of those comments over the last few months or whatever, letting you know I don't give a shit. I am always going to share content of people when they are speaking facts, when they are speaking the truth. And in my personal opinion, any woman who disagrees with this clip, that was only about 20 seconds of it. I'm going to play the entire clip, which is about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to come back on the back end. But any woman who disagrees with what she's saying is in denial. You haven't done the inner work. But before I go off on a tangent and explain that, I'm going to play the entire clip, and then I'll be back.
Women overexert themselves, and then they complain on all over. We do this, the man don't help. But let me ask you this question. Why? You are doing all this work, but why are you doing it? That's where all the magical answers come in. Mm-hmm. Women do all this work that they do because the number one reason they do it is because they're in competition with other women. The number one, it ain't even about the man. The number one reason that a woman boggles herself down with work, she's in competition with another woman to say, I can give him more than you can. Wow. I will take on all these responsibilities so he don't never have to look at another woman. He can come to me for everything. She voluntarily does this to herself. Then she'll have children thinking that she can keep that man and make him play in this fairy tale world that she lives in. See, a lot of this stuff is self-inflicted because after 1974, when you were no longer forced to be in a marriage with a man, right? Because prior to 1974, you couldn't get your own credit. You couldn't take out a loan in your own name. You had to have a husband. Correct. You could not go to Ivy League schools. You couldn't do nothing. Yes. So now you get the freedom to be the person that God intended for you to be, and you begging to go back to slavery. You voluntarily boggle yourself down with domestic duties as a girlfriend, thinking that he's going to wife you. And then when men ask, why do we need to be married? How does marriage benefit a man? Because all this stuff that you're doing, a girlfriend, a side chick will do it. You all cook and clean. You all go down and give the best head. You all will break your neck and sell your soul to get my attention. Why do I need to marry you? They all doing the same thing. And for somehow, they think that they're different. They think that they're special. And these women will kill each other over the validation of a man. Yeah. They'll do it. And somehow, they don't think something is psychologically wrong with them, right? And I think that this needs to be plastered everywhere for the woman to see herself. Because see, men see women. Women don't see themselves. Women see men, but men don't see themselves. And it really doesn't matter ultimately because women hold all the power. And women voluntarily give it up to a man for a fantasy. Thank you. They do it.
Now, I just wanted to play that whole clip because I really wanted women to see that and hear that. I know some of you on here love Princella and you guys follow her. A lot of y'all have, probably already seen that clip before. Here's the thing. The first thing I wanted to address is what she said in the very beginning, that women are in competition with each other. I know a lot of women are going to disagree with that, but I'm going to tell you why it's true. She made the comment that a lot of women are going to do all this extra stuff. I'm going to cook. I'm going to clean for him. I'm going to swing from the chandeliers, like I always like to say. I'm going to S his D from the back. I'm going to be a porn star in bed so he don't have to go find it anywhere else. I know this is 100% true because I can't tell y'all how many people, women, told me, what you won't do, another chick will, so you better do it. I'm not even joking. Think about how many times you have heard that phrase throughout the years, especially in the 90s when I was coming up. That was a very popular phrase. What you won't do, another woman will. So the women do those things in order to keep him from looking for it outside of his marital home or outside of his relationship in general. And women have told me that when we were having conversations about, for an example, I'm going to get a little graphic here, but I said, I don't swallow. And I have never swallowed, and I never would. And they were like, oh my God, men love that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't give a damn what men like. And I'm just using this one example because there's hundreds of them, right? This is the first thing that popped up in my mind because these women were so shocked that I'm like, I don't trust men enough to do a lot of any of that. Like, there's a lot of things I would never do. And I'm still a freak. But there's a lot of things that I wouldn't do because some things that y'all call freaky is just plain disgusting in my personal opinion. And I'm just using that as one example. But they're like, well, if you don't do it, he gonna find somebody else to do it. And I'm like, well, go let him find somebody else to do it. I would prefer that he found somebody else to do it. That way he can leave me the fuck alone about it. The fuck? That's just one example though. Right? So I know a lot of y'all have that mindset because you think if you do all of this domestic labor and do all these things for this man, physical, emotional labor, financial labor, whatever, you're scared that he's going to go find it in another woman. And chances are he's going to do that whether or not you do it anyway. That's the kicker. When you understand the nature of the average man, you know that they're going to do it anyways. They're going to go looking for and find a woman that's going to do exactly what you're doing, but in a different way or better or whatever anyway. So you might as well save yourself the drama. You know what I mean? The second thing that I wanted to address, when she said side chicks and wives are doing the exact same thing. Listen, I've talked about being the side chick and being the wife and who wins and who really loses and all that stuff ever since I started my YouTube channel. I remember watching a clip on tonight's conversation, and Kitty Rose, not Keita Rose, because I love Keita Rose, but I don't care for Kitty Rose. Kitty Rose answered a question because somebody in the audience was like, what can a man get from a side chick that he can't get from the wife? And she started naming all this stuff. And I cringed so bad. If I can find that clip, I'm going to insert it. But if I can't, then just know that it was very cringy. Pick-me-ish. And I remember laughing, thinking, honey, he has a side chick 9 times out of 10. When they're married, they kind of automatically have a side chick in most cases. And that side chick is doing everything you're doing, if not 10 times better. And then on the other hand, you're the one doing the bulk of the work, and she's just around for the fun. So then in that case, if she's a smart side chick, she's doing the least. And then she's sending you back home to him, sending him back home to you, to, deal with the everyday stressors of life and the bills and, the yelling and the arguing, and she's the one being cheated on and blah, 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 and I'm sorry. And I know y'all gonna be mad about that, but that's why I always say the wife loses to me. The side chick only loses if she actually wants your husband. And I can assure you, many of these side chicks don't actually want y'all's husband. There are some that do because they're dumb. But the smart ones, if she's smart, she's not going to get involved with him in the first place. But I'm just saying, the second tier level of smartness is that she's just in it for the gifts or the money or whatever she's doing. And she doesn't have to play your role, which is the losing role. And I'm sorry, I know you are conditioned to believe that you have won because you got the ring, but the only thing you won is a lifetime of misery, and it's going to be a lifetime of misery until you file for divorce or until that man leaves you and you're forced to rebuild your life all over again. That's it. That's all you get. He chose you to cheat on, to embarrass, to make look like a fool in public. He chose you to make you a married single mother. Yeah, he chose you. Absolutely. Number 3, what's wrong with women's minds? Okay, so I wanted to address this. Something is wrong with women. And I think the issue that we have as women is that we've been programmed to be fools for men, to be mules, slaves, single mothers, married single mothers, divorced single mothers for men, corn stars for men. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you dress, everything is supposed to attract a man. And you have to carry yourself like this, and you have to talk like that, and you need to smile, and we've been programmed to do all of this bullshit. Now that we're in the age of information and we know better, at least most of us do, Y'all are still, like she said, wanting to go back to a time when we didn't have any rights to do anything. I was having a conversation with a coworker, and she was like, yeah, but I don't want to work. And I just looked at her like, okay, well, you do know the problem with depending on a man is that you give him the power to feed you, you're also giving him the power to starve you. She's like, well, yeah, that's true. I don't think I got through to her, to be honest with you. And that's going to be her lesson to learn. And to be honest, that is the mental approach that I am taking from now on with women. I'm only going to say things one time to you. And then if you don't get it, then you're just going to become a cautionary tale that I'm later going to talk about on my platforms. Not to be demeaning and not to be mean, but to teach other women and hope that other women don't fall into the same category. Because at the end of the day, I really, in my heart of hearts, want to see all women win. I want to see pick-me's not be pick-me's. I want to see conservative women that believe in, covering themselves up and hijabs and whatever, all these things that these women are doing to dummy themselves down for men. Even those women, I wish that they all wake up. Do you know what I'm saying? In my perfect world, even the women that I don't like and despise of will wake up and see the light. Now, do I think that's going to happen for most of these women? No. A lot of women are going to go to probably early graves, never seeing the truth, never understanding their true power. So I'm not delusional. I know a lot of women are just going to end up being cautionary tales. A lot of women's lives, in my opinion, only turn out to be a lesson to other women on what not to do and what not to become. And that hurts me to think that and to even say that out loud. But I have met quite a few women whose lives turned out to be really, from my perspective, worth nothing. I mean, it could have been more if they had a thought that their lives were worth something, but they didn't think so. And so they went to early graves, never accomplishing anything, never reaching their truest potential, getting beat down by men, being used by men. And the only thing that anybody can really gain from that is don't be like that woman. That's it. There was no other lesson to be learned that I'm aware of. And some women, unfortunately, are going to fall into that category. And I don't know what else to say about that. But any woman who disagrees with this particular clip is in denial. You have not done the inner work. And the inner work requires you to break down the brainwashing, the conditioning, undoing all of that and starting from scratch, building yourself up and building up your self-worth from scratch, not from when you come out the womb, you're presented with a baby doll and you're going to be a mom one day and you got to be a wife and you need to learn how to cook. That's what society and your family and your mom and dad or whoever placed on you. That's not your true power. That's just being a slave and a servant to a man. You have to break yourself down, aka break down this social conditioning and build yourself back up brick by brick. And it is not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult. But it has to be done if you actually care about yourself, love yourself, and want to reach your highest potential in life. It has to be done. And I can always tell when women haven't done that inner work instantly. Because they believe that they belong to a man. They believe that they need a man to have purpose. They believe that if they don't have a husband or they're not a mother, then their lives mean nothing. They can't even imagine life without a man at all. When women start talking like that, I automatically know, and I don't care what her circumstances are, I don't care what her background is, I automatically know she has not done the inner work. And whatever inner work she did do, didn't go deep enough. Because there is no way you will do inner work and you've gone deep enough and you come out on the other end still thinking that having a man is the most important thing in your life. No, there's no fucking way. And if you want to be able to spot that as well, I'm telling you, listen to the verbiage that women use. Listen, just pay attention. Most women, like a lot of these men, have not done the inner work, and many of them probably never will. And that's the unfortunate part. But for those of you who listen to my content, thank you. I am not perfect by a long shot. Not even close to being perfect. If I was given the opportunity to be perfect, I wouldn't take it, because being perfect is boring. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do things the wrong way. I'm going to say the wrong thing. But just know my intentions are pure. With this channel and with my TikTok, which I ain't fucking with TikTok like that. But, you know, I'm on there, but, not like I am on here. But any other platform, the podcast, the Audaci-Tea podcast that you can find us on Spotify, right? With everything that I do and the things I speak on, I'm just being myself 100% of the time. I am being me. You may catch me in a silly mood. You may catch me in an irritated mood. You may catch me in a teaching mood. But I am always myself at all times. And my intentions are good. I don't come here to make women bitter and to make you paranoid. I come here to say, hey, be cautious. You know, I don't want you to live in paranoia. I don't live in paranoia. But I am cautious. And I'm paying attention to my surroundings. I'm paying attention to the laws they're passing. I'm paying attention to all the ways that they want women to go backwards in order to appease men and make men feel like men again. If this whole thing with this patriarchal bullshit hasn't taught you the truth about males, that they are not the natural leaders, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. They're crashing out in real time, every day, all day, online and in real life. And it's definitely in real life, because it's in real life that they're passing these laws to put women back in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant. That's not online. That's real life. These are real people, real men doing this. Somebody's fucking sons are in Congress and in the Senate and all that stuff, trying to subjugate women back to the 50s and before. So y'all can say this is online if you want to. You're delusional and you're in denial as well. And it just is what it is. I care about the state of women and girls. We're going to keep fighting the fight. They're targeting a lot of us as far as our content and all that stuff. They're going to be targeting our physical bodies very soon. I already know that that's coming, because these men are unhinged. We're seeing the way that they're reacting to a woman having a fucking degree. The way that they react to women who make more than them. The way that they react to women who are choosing to be single, celibate, or abstinent. Women who don't want children. Women who just want to live their lives with as minimal stress as possible. Look at how they're acting. Look at how they are treating us. Look at the names they're calling us. Look at the laws that they are trying to peel back and are most likely about to be successful at. Look at all that. Pay attention to that. And that'll let you know that most of these men are nothing like they promoted themselves to be. Not even close. There's no way a man of substance would be responding to women wanting to have their own life and independence and thinking that that's a bad thing. There's no way. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this. Like, share, subscribe, leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. Fuck these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. Oh, go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not to have a full receding hairline. So keep your eyes on his hairline and your hand on your drink. For all you know, he is a psychopath. He'll leave you on red, and he won't care if you're dead. And the psychics